Debbie Boyle. This is Debbie Boyle. Hello? Hello? Studio. Hello? Yes. Hello?
Hey team, thanks for joining the sales call. We'll start up here in just a couple minutes. I've gone ahead and muted everybody. We'll have a guest speaker here later. His name's Michael and he works in Perrysburg, Ohio. Thanks again for joining. We'll start up here in just a couple minutes. All right, you guys, it's 2 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and get started. We have about 45 minutes here for the call. First off, I always like to start with review and just kind of important things about, your day and how it should go. So, remember to be there on time. Usually earlier is better. Costco opens up at 9 a.m. now for executive members. So executives, you guys, they like to buy in bulk sometimes. Okay. Lately I've been posting a lot on Connect Team. While things are on sale, especially, you guys need to be pushing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags of super greens while those things are on sale. Okay. That means you guys need to push quantity. You guys need to push programs. That's what top promoters do to hit their sales goals. Okay. So you're getting people to buy more than one bag, or you're building up a program. So focus real hard, you guys, on quantities. Okay. While things are on sale, so you guys can increase your overall total unit count. The other thing that's really important, so again, be on time, maybe get there for executives. Don't show up too late, especially Saturday and Sunday, you guys, because then you can't stay late to make up that time that you lost. So during the week, stores are open later, and if you show up late, I expect you to work later. You need the full shift, okay, to hit your quotas. All right, we're there to sell a certain number of items. Tier 1 is absolutely the bare minimum. It's not where we want you. We want you at tier 3 goals, you guys. That's truly the total unit goal that we need to see. So, once you hit at least tier 1 bare minimum for your qualifier, you guys should be focusing to hit that tier 3 total unit goal. Okay. Once you hit tier 1 qualifiers, you guys can earn bonus. That's your first step. You don't hit tier 1 qualifiers, you're not earning any bonus, even if you sell a whole bunch of those turmeric ginger gummies that are on sale this week, or the magnesium gummies that are on sale this week. Okay. Or if you sell a bunch of collagen and not enough super greens, you won't earn bonus, or a bunch of creatine gummies. You won't earn bonus if you don't hit your tier 1 goals. Okay. So, what's important is figuring out if you need to get there at 9:30 or 9:15 versus 10, maybe get some of those executives, or maybe you need to get there at 11 during the week, or 10:30 during the week and stay 30 minutes later. Okay. Because kids have school during the week. Parents come after school sometimes. So start thinking about those things, see if that could maybe help you. And then location, you guys, is extremely important. So you don't always have the opportunity to be in the best location. Okay. But you do have to try to get yourself there. That means be extremely friendly with CDS, be extremely friendly with Costco management, the merchandise manager, the GMs, anybody who works for Costco, and obviously all of the people walking through Costco that shop there, you need to be friendly with. And focus on names. Okay, focus on knowing the managers' names. The people that work for Costco, whether it's CDS managers, they don't work for Costco, but anybody you interact with every single day, you guys should know their names. Okay, and that includes your customers, the people that come in and buy from you, or the people that come in and don't buy from you. You should know their names. Try to remember as many names as you can in order to be personable and create lasting relationships with your customers and then the people that work at Costco. Especially with those people that work inside of Costco, that will help you get good locational setup for your table as well as product placement for your demos. Okay. Then obviously with the customers, if you can know their name, they'll become loyal to you as long as you show that you care about them. All right. And it's not just their name, it's about showing that you care about how the products are working for them. Okay. I ask every single customer when I know that I've sold them or I'm trying to really close the sale. I ask every single customer to come back. Let me know how it's working for them. Or on a Zena day, for instance, I'll tell them to take pictures. But once they buy the super greens and the collagen, or just the collagen, or just a colostrum, any of them, say, hey, you guys, go take some pictures of your face, your hair, your skin, your nails. Okay, so the front of your face, top of your head, and your fingernails. Go take some pictures. You took your first dose today here with me. Okay, and then now you're taking it home. Go take some pictures, and then a month from now, take some more pictures. All right. And then when you're halfway, or at the 45-day mark, when you're halfway done with your 90-day supply, take some pictures. Okay, then do it close to that 90-day mark. Okay, but before you decide whether it works for you or not, I want you to, before you decide, oh, this didn't work, and then you try to return it, I want you to come back and talk to me and give me some feedback. That's one really good way to close the sale. Okay, so try to really get them to commit to giving the stuff a try for a set period of time. Okay, and the way you get those bulk sales is ask them questions. Or that's the main thing. Ask them questions. How many people are in your family? Is it just you, ma'am, that's going to be using the collagen, or is your husband going to use it too? Or is it just you using the super greens, or do you have kids at home? Kids love the super greens. It's a great replacement for Capri Suns. Okay, they can start putting it in their Kirkland signature water bottles and take it to school with them, or they can put it inside their Stanley cup or hydro flask and take it to school with them. It tastes great. Okay, 95% of kids love it. So you guys got to really think about how you can get more than one out the door. Okay. Location is has a big impact on your sales, and then the relationships that you create with everybody inside of Costco. Okay. So be on time, create good relationships, push for a good location of your table setup. All right. I feel like those are, and then, the thing I also need to mention is you guys, the way that you guys set up your table. So I just posted on Connect Team a great setup. All right. She went above and beyond, made it look great. And I was here in one of my local stores. She decorated it for Halloween. Okay. Put some purple on it, put some actual like lights on it, and then some decorations. All right. People were just walking up, and she was not loud like I am right now. I'm a firm believer in energy and being loud and drawing attention with your voice. But if your table looks great, that also draws attention. So you got to draw attention in as many ways as possible. Okay. And then the way you look personally is very important. So dress for success. All right. We're not just dressing for comfort all day long in sweats. Okay. We need to dress for success, be appealing, and people will come to you as long as you don't have some crazy scents or smells on. Okay. You can't put perfume on with this job because people will not come to your table if they're allergic to certain smells. Okay. And that goes for perfume, or that goes for smells that aren't so good, like unclean clothes. Okay. Or a tablecloth that has been washed, but not dried very well, or whatever it is. Any smells that are unappealing or overly strong are going to be not good for you running your demo. Okay. So be clean, and look presentable. Okay, very important. They are working on potentially getting some what do you call them? Something to protect your clothes. Okay, I forgot the name. Brain fart there. Okay, but anyway, so I just want to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to go ahead and let my guest Michael jump into some stuff that's been working great for him, and then I'll maybe interject here and there, and then finish up afterwards. Okay, so Michael, if you know how to unmute yourself, go ahead. I'll unmute you, Michael.
Okay.
You there?
Thanks, Jordan. Yep.
Okay.
Hello. My name is Michael Eberly. Welcome, new promoters. Congratulations. Now what? I've been doing this for nearly 2.5 years, so I'm still learning by trial and error. And this is what I've learned so far. This is a transactional sale, 3 to 4 minutes. So choose your thoughts and words wisely. Sales is a numbers game. The more people you approach, the more you will sell. Know the science, but sell the benefits, and think and speak in sound bites. I have borrowed from the CDS their sales strategy, which is SITCA. S stands for smile, I is for invite, T is for talk, G is for give samples, and A is to ask for the sale. This strategy has been tested and it works. Be patient and have fun. It takes time to build a business. Briefly, my background with direct demo, I was selling for a couple of months. I liked the hourly pay, but wasn't keen on making 200 plus approaches a day. I never looked at the bonus report because I wasn't on it. One day I was looking at my paycheck and I noticed that I received a $43 bonus for selling turmeric gummies. This was a game changer because I then asked myself, how well could I do if I became good at my job? General setup. Know all the information on the boxes and containers. Study the packaging of the competitors' products. Companies spend millions of dollars on packaging and design of their products, so use it to your advantage. The demo table setup. Make it attractive, eye-catching from a distance. Watch for micro glances from the Costco members. This is the time to make your invite. Generate interest in your demo table. This is most challenging and the most important factor for success. Humor and enthusiasm are your friend. A line that works for me, this is my invite. I state, after you enjoyed the Costco buffet, step up to the health and wellness table and take a shot of red, white, and blue. I use red, white, and blue bottles. This allows me to discuss all the liquid supplements during my 3 to 4 minute presentation and emphasize the advantages of taking liquids. The puppy dog pose. When they're at your demo table and they're asking questions about a product, after they take the samples, I take their empty cup from them as I slowly hand them the product to let them review it. Be quiet for a moment until they are finished reading. They may have questions, which is a good sign because they want more information. They are either going to hand it back to you or put it in their cart. This technique of handing them the product has improved my closing ratio significantly. The aisle sales. The best time to make an approach is when they have a competitor's brand in their hand or cart. You know they want that product. As I approach, I state, if you're going to take a supplement for whatever the product is, it is recommended that you take it as a liquid because the absorption rate is 90% versus 20% with the capsule, powder, or gummy. I have a sample if you'd like to try it. I then walk slowly over to the demo table. 60 to 70% of my sales are using this approach. When you have a member at the demo table, you have 3 or 4 minutes to make a sale. When you're pouring samples, take your time with presenting the benefits of each product. Always sell the liquid first. Pull the wagon downhill. 90% absorption rate within 30 seconds versus 20% for a capsule or gummy, which can take hours. A key critical selling point, liquid absorption is over 4 times greater than capsules, gummies, or powders. If you know what product they're interested, sell the benefits of that product first. Point to each product as you are discussing the benefits. It is critically important that you discuss the benefits of all the products on the table every time. Failure to do so will cost you a lot of money over a long period of time. This is the only thing I'm going to repeat. Point to each product as you're discussing the benefits. It is critically important that you discuss the benefits and all the products on the table every time. Failure to do so will cost you a lot of money over a long period of time. Speak up when you're presenting so other members can hear what you were saying. When you have an interested member at your demo table, this will often provoke interest from others who are watching or listening. So this is the actual presentation of my Zena products. These are script lines that work for me. As I approach a member, as your member approach is the most important first step, which I make 200 times a day, so make the effort to make it your best. I state, have you tried organic super greens in the green bag? As I point to the bag, I've lost weight on them. I am waiting for them to look at the table, and when they pause their step, I began my presentation. I state, I put the organic super greens into my protein smoothie as my breakfast meal replacement, and the 70+ superfoods help me feel full. I have lost 20 pounds in 3 months. It's great for hydration, it has powerful antioxidants that fights free radicals, it has pre and probiotics for digestive health. The organic super greens have a dozen exotic mushrooms. Look at the health benefits for the mushroom supplement alone. And I'll then hand them a fact sheet that tells the benefits of the mushroom supplement. As they're reading, be quiet. I then state, on the other side are the top 23 ingredients and their health benefits. A smoothie is the best delivery system. I put almond milk, Greek yogurt, a banana, some blueberries, and a half a scoop of protein powder in it. I put all my supplements, the organic super greens, a liquid collagen biotin, pure colostrum, the Qunol turmeric, which is a natural anti-inflammatory, and CoQ10, which is heart healthy, into my smoothie. If you don't make smoothies, I find that powders mix up better in acidic juice, such as tart cherry juice, pomegranate juice, lemonade. I would say orange juice, which turns it into green juice, which would be gross. I only drink green when McDonald's comes out with their Shamrock Shake in March. It says 1 stick per 10 to 12 ounces. I find that to be overkill. I put a full stick in my red tumbler, which is 32 ounces. If you use a half a stick per 10 to 12 ounces, you can get 60 to 90 servings from that 45-stick bag. Water doesn't have anything to break down the powder, so the smoothie is your best delivery option. AG1 is the #1 brand. Theirs is not organic nor sugar-free. Theirs is on sale for $63 for a box of 40, which is outrageous. The reason they're so expensive is they spend tens of millions of dollars on advertising. So Zena gets the benefit of their advertising, but ours is a better product because it is organic and sugar-free at 62 cents per stick versus $1.58 per stick, less than half the cost. Do not pause. Move to the liquid collagen biotin. I state, the liquid collagen biotin is incredible. It has versatile collagen peptides that absorb at 90% versus only 20% for a soft gel, powder, or gummy. I have members who have bought 9 and 10 boxes in a year and a half because they're getting great results with less aches and pains in their joints, tendons, and ligaments because of the type 1 and type 3 collagen. It is also great for complexion. It puts moisture back into the skin, which reduces wrinkles. The biotin makes your fingernails grow longer and stronger and gives you new hair growth. Me and my parents who are in their 80s have been using it for over a year. Dad and I notice less aches and pains in our joints, tendons, and ligaments from the type 1 and type 3 collagen. Men want to look and feel their best as well. Mom and I've noticed that our fingernails started to grow like crazy at 4 to 6 weeks, and at 3 months we began to have new hair growth. It was coming in thicker, and more importantly, Mom is losing less hair. If they use Orgain or Vital Protein, our biggest competitors, I state, our liquid collagen biotin has many benefits over these two products. They only have collagen type 1 and 3, which is only half of the 1-2 punch. Powder only absorbs at 20% versus 90% for a liquid collagen biotin. Theirs is much higher in calories and sodium. That's which is more for weight gain and muscle mass. That is why theirs is sold in the protein aisle. Ours is a much better value. Theirs is $30 for only a 34-day supply versus ours is a 90-day supply for only $30. Last week, I had a member tell me that she paid $100 for only a 30-day supply of liquid collagen biotin. I've had members who have switched from Orgain or Vital Protein who have come back and thanked me because they're getting much better results from our liquid collagen biotin than their powder. Pure colostrum is the first milk that mammals feed their babies. We've been selling pure colostrum for 3 months, and members are coming back and buying their second box because they're getting great results for their digestive health. Pure colostrum also helps with hair and skin, but the primary health benefit is digestive health. I have members tell me that they're getting better results from our pure colostrum than they are from pre and probiotics. A member last week told me that it has completely reset her digestive health. Back before steroids and creatine, bodybuilders used pure colostrum for lean muscle mass. Armra is the leading brand of pure colostrum, and they sell 120 servings for $132, which is outrageous. And the reason it's so expensive is they, like AG1, spend tens of millions of dollars on advertising. Zena gets the benefit from their advertising, but has created a better product because ours is Bobby approved at a much better price point. And then give them a fact sheet with the benefits of the pure colostrum. Again, be quiet as they read. If I lead with the collagen biotin in my approach, I state, have you tried our liquid collagen biotin in the pink box for less wrinkles, new hair growth, longer and stronger nails? If they pause, start your presentation without hesitation. I then reverse order, starting with collagen biotin, then the organic super greens, and finish with the pure colostrum. Once you've given them the presentation, it's time to close the sale. I state, do you want to try a box of or a bag of greens? When you ask the closing question, be quiet. The one who speaks first generally loses. I only state this if I think it will close the sale. Both Costco and Zena have a money-back guarantee, and if you're not completely satisfied for any reason, you can bring it back, no questions asked, for a full refund. If they state they aren't ready to buy today, I state, if you buy today, I get credit today. Some closing thoughts. The demo table doesn't sell your products, but it gives you an opportunity to discuss and sell the benefits. Develop a sales script and try different approaches and lines that work for you. Stay positive, be happy, patient, and have fun while working. Present all the products on your table and always ask for the sale multiple times. Once you make a sale, thank them and ask them to come back in 60 days and share their experience with the product. Let them know what days you were. You may be surprised how many members will do this, usually when you're presenting to another member, of which usually I smile and state, I owe you a Costco hot dog. I know where the products are in the primary pharmacy. If members are looking for something, I ask them, can I help you find something? This builds goodwill and rapport with the member and will often allow you to ask them if they take anything for heart health, an anti-inflammatory for aches and pains, or a product for hair, skin, and nails. And Costco employees will come to me to ask where the items are in the pharmacy. My value added to Costco. Remember that you'll often see many Costco members who are repeat shoppers, and you'll see them over and over again. Sometimes they are busy and not interested, won't take the 3 to 4 minutes to discuss our product. Sometimes you'll make the presentation, but they're not ready to buy now, but they'll come back later to make a purchase. Continue to build your pipeline of reoccurring business. If they make a face because they don't like the taste of the supplement, I state, well, that's not what the taste testers were hoping for, but you can put this in your smoothie or juice and you won't even take it. And finally, the ultimate compliment from a member is when they thank you for being a good salesperson and for selling them the products. A happy and satisfied member sets you up for repeat business in the future. That's it.
Great job, Michael. Yeah, so you hit on so many things that I could totally just kind of like reiterate and talk about. Yeah, I really liked how you mentioned moving from one thing to the next item. So, you're usually calling out for that qualifier first off, because you have to hit a certain number of your qualifier to get that bonus money that, Michael didn't care about at first, but then when he saw it on his paycheck, he's like, wow, that's nice. I wonder if I can get $200, not just $46, Michael, do you have an idea? I know you keep track of numbers. Do you have an idea of your best bonus day? How much you bonused on?
I don't know. One day I sold 82 items, and that was a magical day.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's true. I have seen some people have really magical days, and then you make a lot of money, and that could have just been a great day for you. You were doing great, or the store could have been extremely busy, whatever. But yeah, so that's really awesome. So you have to be ambitious. You have to reach for that bonus, and what's really important so you don't miss out on opportunity is hopping from one item to the next item. So give your pitch on super greens. It's a qualifier. Don't try to sell it yet. Get it in their hand. Okay. Yeah. But then you want to move on to collagen. Then you want to move on to the colostrum. And I always find linking them together is the best way to get that program out the door. Michael, do you ever sell programs? Is
yeah.
that how you do it? Where you just kind of keep going, or do
Yeah.
you try to link them together right off the bat?
Well, again, that's why I repeated the one thing. You got to go through your progression, folks, on everything. To me, it's like the quarterback. When you drop back, you're going to look at your primary, your secondary, and your relief valve. But you got to do it every time. And I can tell you, I've been lazy myself where I got them over on this, I'll present this, and then I stop. That's a wrong-headed approach. That's going to cost you thousands of dollars over years if you take that approach. You have to go through everything that's on your table, because that's where you're making the linkages. And a lot of times people will come back to me later and say, oh yeah, you presented to me and I came back and I bought, CoQ10 or turmeric. And it was on that presentation I did that day. They didn't buy that day, but they came back. And when they're so if I'm selling Zena and they're coming up and they're buying whatever, CoQ10, I'll ask them how long have they been using that, and then I
Right.
build some rapport with them. And I'm always dry selling. So on days that I sell Zena, if somebody's getting ready to grab a thing of the Kirkland CoQ10, I just casually walk up to them and I say, the black and white bottle is the number one cardiologist recommended brand. And it's a 6-month supply versus only a 100-day supply. And it's cheaper per capsule. It's only 16 cents on sale versus 20 cents per capsule. You win them over, but that also gives you a chance to then, every time I do that approach, I will then go into the benefits of the liquid over the capsules being 90% versus 20%. I can't tell you how many boxes I've dried sold of CoQ10 and turmeric by using that approach.
And then the end goal on a day, like if you're on a Zena day and you're, spending a minute or two to pitch Qunol, the end goal sure is to keep the business, within the company, right? But also you have to think about that same day, and the end goal really is also to ultimately bring them over to your table for samples on whatever you have today. So, like for instance, I personally bring I like with the Qunol gummies on sale, for instance, the magnesium and the turmeric ginger gummies. If I'm working tomorrow on Tuesday, I'm going to bring those gummies with me because there's going to be people looking at magnesium. There's going to be people looking at turmeric, and I'll use those, even though I don't get credit for selling them personally. I probably might use those to basically find a way in to talking to that customer. So I'm going to offer them a sample if they're looking at magnesiums, and the end goal really is to get them over to my table. So I'll take my tray with the sample cup on it, take them a magnesium gummy because I can see they're looking at magnesium pills, or even maybe the gummies. And then I'll say, hey, I got some other great samples over here. I'm not really demoing this today, but I just thought you might be interested in it. But I have some other great stuff for Zena today. You may be interested in it. Come try it out real quick. So, it's all about getting people to the table, whether they were looking at supplements that we were already selling or anything else supplement wise. You have to figure out how to get them over to your table at some point. So activity I find is really important. Just you do not stop talking. Like he said, he doesn't pause, right? If you pause, that gives them too much time to think. Getting it in their hand eliminates all that thinking time too. Once it's in their hand, the product that you pitched, it then becomes theirs. All right. They have this idea that this product's now mine. And then I either I have to give it back or, like he said, put it in the cart. So when you're pitching, use your product, point to all the things that are on there that Qunol or Zena pay. They had to pick certain things that you're technically allowed to talk about. And then those key points that have been studied and that they're allowed to talk about are on the, they're there for you to talk about and point to. So there's not a pitch that for me that doesn't include me taking my finger and pointing at all the different benefits of each product. I will run it down the Super Greens label and tell them about as many of the ingredients as I have time to and their benefits and what they can do for them. Using those laminates or the printout of the Super Greens ingredients list will be very beneficial to you. I know some people stack so much product on their table that their laminates aren't accessible. Okay, you shouldn't have them so that they're not visible. Make sure that everything is visible, but make sure your table is loaded up with product. Okay, you want it to be attractive. All right, don't put. You need to have enough product on your table that customers feel, like they're not causing you, extra work to go basically to go get more product for your table. Like if you have enough product, they'll grab off your table, no problem, without giving you an excuse. Oh, that's okay. I'll go grab it off the shelf. Okay. Don't let them leave your table, saying, oh, that's okay. I'll go get it myself. No, if they tell you that, you just hand it to them, or you put your tray underneath the table, your shakers underneath the table, say, oh, that's okay. I'll go get it for you. Okay. And then someone else is looking over there. Oh, I'm just grabbing this for a customer. You should come check out what they're getting. Right. So you have to 100% stay in control of every situation when you're running your demo. Okay.
Hey, Jordan, So a couple of things. When I first started and they came out with the liquid collagen biotin, I couldn't give it away. And so I was paired with a senior promoter. And one of the things that he impressed on me is, hey, you're building a business. And if you do this right, you get an annuity for years after if you continue to build that business. So I always want, my goal is to have as many thousands of people as I can buying 3 or 4 or 5 of our products on a regular basis. And that's where it really becomes lucrative, gang, to you, is when you take the time and the patience and the effort to learn your craft and build a business. And that's why I dry sell on days of things that I'm not selling, because I keep on saying to myself, I'm just feeding into that pipeline. I'm making that pipeline bigger and bigger for me and the other promoter at my store. So we both get advantage down the road on that.
Yeah. And, we used to be one of the only ways that these things were sold, whether it's Qunol or Zena. Okay. But keep in mind, you guys, we are kind of like that last stop or that last marketing impact for the consumer to make that purchase. So all over TV and online right now, the Brain Health Memory Plus pills and the Brain Health Focus pills, okay, they're the same thing. They're pretty much the same thing. They're being advertised all over TV and online. So people are seeing those. They're seeing them in magazines. They're seeing them on the internet. I posted, I think it was a blog from the New York Post, and so they are getting attention and people are seeing them. Also, on a Zena day, right, we all have the new creatine D3K2 gummies. Okay, those are going to be a great product. They're going to sell without your impact. Okay. I believe you guys can go in there and sell tons of them, but they're going to move even without you, which is great for bonus. All right. But the truth is being in Costco, all of these products that we sell, or pretty much anything on Costco, typically is held to a very high standard when it comes to, if the product says it has 5,000, micrograms or milligrams of creatine, okay, it's going to have that, right? All on Amazon and other places, they're selling the same type of thing, 5,000 milligram creatines, and there's none, or there's just a little tiny bit, okay, because they're not third-party tested, and then they still have 5-star reviews. So in Costco, all right, you can guarantee that we're selling a pure product, and it's also going to be more affordable. The same product, okay, is going to be, or similar product, meaning you can go get the creatine D3K2 gummies on Amazon for a lot of money, Okay, so everything's cheaper at Costco, whether for the total price per unit. Okay, so price per serving is cheaper at Costco. I think it's like $64 for the creatine D3K2 gummies on Amazon. So you can't. I mean, think about that. I mean, I think they're $27.99 right now at Costco. So you can't beat that price, you guys. So
Hey, Jordan.
yeah,
Guys, the other thing, back when I first started to sell in the collagen and biotin, every time I saw somebody going by with Vital Protein in their cart, I'd say, "Oh, that's terrible. That's my number one competitor." And it got to the point that when I developed my script in a way, I've walked up to people that have had 4 Vital Proteins in their cart on sale. I followed them into the pharmacy with a box of our liquid collagen biotin, gave that presentation, and they came back to my table and says, "Well, can you put our 4 Vital Protein back? We're going to buy 3 of your boxes of the liquid collagen biotin." So that really changed a lot, because all of our products, we can beat our competitors both on price, but more important, quality and the benefits that it provides.
yes. Okay,
So
and
you gotta go
sorry, I
ahead.
didn't cut you off. You can keep going if you have a little bit more.
No, but so my thing is, when I see Vital Protein or Orgain, and Orgain's actually a little bit better of a product in so
Right.
much that it has the probiotics and it's much lower in sodium. And one of the things they do, like, so I go after carts that have collagen or Vital Protein or Orgain. I also go after carts that have the liquid IV. And the line that usually catches their attention on that is that, wow, liquid IV is good for hydration, but ours does hydration and so much more. And did you know that one packet of liquid IV is 500 milligrams of sodium? That's 22% of your daily intake. Ours is 15 milligrams, and ours is less than 1%. So I find that as being a very great thing to flip people from liquid IV to our organic super greens.
So, and that's what I was going to hit on. So I mean, you're doing all the right things, and that's what you have to be able to switch people. 110%, super important. You have to switch people from those top brands that sell already in Costco, that doctors are recommending to their patients. Okay, they recommend Vital Collagen Protein. Then there's people in Hollywood that recommend it. Okay, so there's lots of influence. Same thing with AG1, lots of influence. Okay, but you have to be able to switch. So what he's doing, what Michael's doing is great. You have to pay attention to their carts. You have to pay attention to everything that you see or hear. Okay. Now we have to also be careful. All right. We cannot really mention their names. You have to beat around the bush a lot in order to get them. He may be able to get away with certain things in his store in regards to mentioning the names of the competitors. Okay. But if they're inside of Costco, we have to use the verbiage other when you're talking about them. All right. The other powder may blah, 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 blah. Or, the other collagen, you can even say in the blue bottle, maybe blah, 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 blah. Okay. But you can't really truthfully mention the names unless they ask you. Okay. But you just don't want to get CDS mad at you, and they'll kick you out of the store for poaching. Okay. But being proactive and chasing down a customer, I mean, as long as you're not chasing them clear across the store, I mean, I'm fine with going for the sale. Right. I mean, I've literally blurted out from 20 feet away, that other one is known to convert to belly fat. Right. I kind of almost guilted her into that by saying that. Okay. I mean, I said something crazy. She came back 10 minutes later and bought the liquid collagen because she must have been gaining some weight in her belly and she didn't know why. And it was obviously the collagen or whatever. But what I was saying is we got to be careful. Michael, do you? I mean, are you beating around the bush at all when you do the switching? Because in compliance calls and stuff, they just tell us not to do this or do that. So we just have to be careful.
Yeah. So a lot of times when I ask them, guys, I keep my presentation very tight. That's why it lasts 3 to 4 minutes. if there's a question, I'm asking kind of, well, what type of collagen do you use? And then sometimes they'll kind of, well, it's the one in the blue tub. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's the Vital Protein. I call that the Jennifer Aniston brand. She endorsed that, a decade ago. They paid her tens of millions of dollars. Now that they don't pay her, she doesn't endorse it anymore. And so, yeah, and then sometimes, I'll see the liquid, or the Vital Protein in their cart. And that's when I then make that approach saying, hey, we got a better product at a better price point. And so you're constantly kind of working around the element of closing the sale. And, I'll tell you, one of the best lines I have is when I gave a great presentation. I know I did. They're looking at the product and they're hesitating and they say, well, I'm not going to buy today. I'll come back later. Guys, this line is magic. I look at them and I smile. I know I gave them a great presentation and I say, if you buy today, I get credit today. I've had many people walk away from my table only to come back 5 minutes later and smile at me as they're picking up a product from my table. And
people
I
do
don't
have a heart. They care.
Yeah.
They care about your well-being. You just did all that work, and they don't want you to have done it for nothing. I mean, if they were truly interested, and they're going to come back. I mean, why wait? I mean, let's help this guy out. He just did his job so well. I'm going to buy from him.
Like I said, to me, the ultimate compliment from a member is when I make the approach. They came up, I gave the presentation, and then they thank me for selling them the product, because what they're really telling you is, I walked up here and I'm only heard your presentation because of your approach, and I listened to it, and you've now convinced me that I need this product. To me, that's the ultimate sale. So they'll say times, well, thank you for being such a good salesperson. And I'll smile and look at them and I'll say, well, if I was really good, you would have bought all 3 products from my table, which usually brings a chuckle. So yeah, people, relate to people. So the more relatable you are, the more sales you're going to make.
Correct. And another thing I say when they give me compliments on being a great salesperson is it's not all about being the salesperson. All right. I'm truthfully just trying to help you feel, help you feel better, trying to teach you about these great products. I'm not trying to sell you. But if you would like to help me out, go ahead and purchase today. I try to bring it down and say, hey, I'm not here to sell. I'm here to help people learn about some amazing products and teach you how to do some good things for yourself.
I think what really makes a difference is with supplements. People kind of, well, do they do any good? And my response to that question is first, do no harm. Unlike the prescriptions that our doctors are writing and getting paid for to sell us, that seems to me kind of a conflict of interest. So I feel good every day knowing that when I work, I'm helping people to, have a better life, because our products are very helpful to them, and it's certainly they're not hurting them.
Right. And kind of break away from the mold of Western society where we're using, not Western society, but where we're using pharmaceuticals just to kind of take away, the symptom, but not fix anything. And, ultimately what we're selling can, in the long run, alleviate a lot of, eradicate a lot of issues that people have, so people come in all day long for allergy pills. The truth is, people have told me their allergies are gone after using the super greens regularly, because they now have a more balanced gut health. And a lot of your immunity and issues with the body start with gut problems. So, that's one of the most important ones in my mind to get anybody started on, is those super greens, you guys, because it can do a lot of, if you get them on one product and it works for them, they then become a believer in what you're selling. And anytime they see you, they want to hear about the other items. So you have to, yeah.
Go ahead, Jordan.
No, I'm just saying you have to create believers.
Yeah.
And they can always try these things out at home. I mean, they have that opportunity to go try them out, whether it's from Costco being generous with the return policy, or Zena or Qunol guaranteeing their products. There's no risk in trying these things. I mean, there's no really, true side effects unless they're on some pharmaceuticals that might interact with like the turmeric, okay? Because it's a blood thinner, but there's not a whole lot of risk. They're not super expensive, you know. My Starbucks that my daughter gets is like $8 or $8 to $9 for the middle size, Starbucks drink. So they're pretty affordable,
And when they buy, I very gently insist that they take one from my table, and they're like, "Well, no, I can walk over and get it." Well, guess what? They start to walk over there and they get a phone call. They then get distracted. It's like, no, please take it off my table. Then I get my steps in to go ahead and go over and restock my table, which usually makes them smile. So when you can get that product into their hands, you don't shove it to them. But if they're sitting there at your table and they're looking kind of squinting, bending down, I just gently pick up the product and hand it to them. And because of Zena and Qunol, I mean, they use the highest quality of boxes and even the Zena bags. And so use that to your benefit. So when you put a box in that nice box into their hands, that has some real value to them.
Yeah, I mean, they make the products look nice. They spend money on the packaging. Everything's oversized, big, bold, and beautiful. It could be a lot smaller. Maybe it's not as eco-friendly as some people want, but look, it's attractive, and that's what's kind of important. All right, it's top tier worthy. It's fancy. All right. So another thing, like what he mentioned, walking back to get the product to restock your shelf. To restock your shelf. Yeah, just tell them, hey, I have to go get more product for my table anyways. Don't worry, I'll go grab it for you. I'll be right back. Or go ahead and take it off my table. I have to go get more product anyways. It's not a bother. All right. But also take the time you go to grab the product from the shelf should be timed wisely, right? You only do it when there's no traffic coming down the aisle. Okay. You're out there where it's busy. Time it wisely. You don't do it when it's busy in front of your table. Okay. But if it's busy in the aisle, that's the perfect time to go grab new products to restock you have to time it. If you see someone looking at liquid turmeric and that's your qualifier, or any turmerics, okay, or anything nearby it, that's when you go grab your product. You have to time everything perfectly. You go grab your product anytime there's a customer down that aisle. Even if you only need one box, you already have 10 on your table. You're just going to go grab one box because you quote unquote need it. And you're going to talk to that customer before they pick out any products. So you time everything wisely, use your time wisely. If you can't do a lot of steps, use your steps wisely. Okay.
And by walking in the aisles, gang, I get 3 miles a day on average. And so if you can't sell in the aisles, you may have to really rethink some things, because when they're standing in front of your product, they want the product. Now, to be truly successful at this job or to maximize your potential, you got to be able to make those 200 approaches a day, because that's what really takes you from, tier 1 to tier 3, is to get them to come up to your table in that invite.
Then you just got to work on your closing ratio. Okay. And every store is different. Some are on the busy aisles, some get tucked away into the pharmacy. So you have to contact me if you're struggling inside the pharmacy. It's all about knowing what people are looking at, or being active and leaving your table when you can to go get those customers over to your table. If I'm working inside the pharmacy, a lot of times I'm buy a whole bunch of supplements and there's 10 people in the aisle. I'm looking the entire time at what they're looking at, because that's how I'm going to get my sale. It's not just by them coming over to this job is not for people walking over to the table, taking a sample and just buying it. Today I went to Costco. Okay. I tried some CDS samples. I heard one CDS promoter, and I've been trying to get him to work for us, not in my region, forever. For whatever reason you want to do it. The dude talks about every single thing perfectly. He's sitting there telling me what I would tell someone on Super Greens, but it's just on the fruit bars that they sell that are in little packages and sticks. But he's telling me all the benefits of this stuff. Okay, that's what we have to do about every single product. Yeah, even if you were making a lasagna and you worked for us, I'd want you to tell me about all the ingredients in that darn lasagna. Is it vegan? Is it fake meat? Well, what is it? That's what you got to do with the Super Greens. That's what you have to do with CoQ10, turmeric, collagen, colostrum. everything. You guys got to go into detail when you have the opportunity. Okay, so not everybody even has the 4 minutes that Michael says he has. Sometimes you got 30 seconds to a minute. You got 5 people around your table. You're raising your voice, you guys, and you're talking to all 5 at the same time. Okay, make it a goal to sell everybody at your table, not just the one person that was there first. Okay, that's about it, though. I appreciate you, Michael, for joining and helping out today. It is very hard for me to send these videos out. For some reason, it's not working. I don't have anything to convert it to a different file. So I literally have to go through and send it individually, either on Connect Team, and it doesn't always work. I noticed that I send it, but it never makes it. Or I send a text and it never makes it. I can't send it in an email. It gets rejected. So that's why it's important you guys show up to these calls. I know some of you guys work on Mondays. If your sales are really, really low, then I'm going to make sure you attend. Okay. I'm going to tell you to get there early that day and leave early. All right. If I just want you to go to the sales call and you're not at risk of, getting fired, okay, then I'm not going to tell you that you have to come. Okay. I just want you guys to have opportunity to learn from new people, learn from me if I don't have anybody else on here. Okay. So don't feel scared. Okay. Some of you are doing fine. I just want you guys to have the opportunity to learn more. Okay. Again, thanks, Mike. Any questions?
Jordan,
Yeah.
I was going to ask, is there any chance you can open up to see if there are any questions or comments?
Well, I only got 45 minutes, but if you don't, let me see. I have one texting me, but we only get paid for 45. I can't go over, so we're already 3 minutes over.
Okay.
Had a customer say she has a hard time swallowing pills. She wanted to know if it was okay to break the brain health tablets in half. I don't see why not, John. But you're also not a doctor. That doesn't seem like it's real like doctor or pharmaceutical advice. When there's any specific questions that you don't really know the answer to, you don't give a solid answer. You just kind of, I don't see why not. If it's a tablet, you typically cut it in half and go for it. That's kind of up to you. That would be my take on that. But you guys, if you do have questions, what we can do is you can send me a message. If it's directed towards Michael, send me a chat message on Connect Team, and I'll make sure that he gets that question. And then I'm sure he'll be happy just to quickly respond to me, or at some point respond to me and let me know the answer. And then I'll just relay the message. Okay. If you have any questions for me, you can do the same thing. Just message me on Connect Team. Again, it's my day off, so I have some personal things to do the rest of the day. But if you send me the message, I'll get to it as soon as possible. I'm off on Mondays and Tuesdays for the most part. If it's an emergency, you got to call me. All right. So other than that, I hope everybody has a great day. And let's have a great week, actually. Right. This is an opportunity. I saw some people making over $200 in bonus in one day. Okay. So when you hit that $5 per item, you can make some great cash. So let's go out there this week and be the top region for sales. All right. Last week we were number 2 on a Thursday, but let's go out there and be number 1. All right. Have a great day, you guys.